Welcome and thanks for joining us at WYCC.org for In the Loop, the After Show. Our guest today, Angel Garcia, president of the Chicago Young Republicans, Mitzi Miller, editor-in-chief of Jet Magazine, and journalist and author Walter Jacobson. Thank you all for joining us.
Hey.
Let's talk about the Whittier Fieldhouse. Residents in the neighborhood say this is an icon that they were working to restore, raising money, getting architectural plans. CPS says this is a falling down, dangerous old building. So last weekend, Friday night and into Saturday, in went the bulldozers. Some of the neighbors said this is just another Meigs Field in Pilsen. Angel, is it?
Well, I think what it is a power grab by the mayor. The people that work there and have been using it, they were people that would have voted for Del Valle, for Chico. So the mayor politically said, well, they're not my friends. I can take that away and actually hurt them a little bit. I don't think it's anything about the structure. I think it's a political power play.
More politics than safety.
Oh, definitely.
Mitzi?
I think it's an emotionally charged issue on both sides, and I think that, anytime something comes down in the middle of the night, people are gonna, there's a, kind of be a hit to trust. So I think people are feeling very sensitive. There's something to be said about doing things in the day of light, but at the same time, without all the facts, it's kind of a toss-up.
And to do it right now, I mean, why haven't they done it before? It's been in the news and it's been a problem now for at least 3 years, and all of a sudden they've decided that it's really dangerous. Wasn't it dangerous 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, just as dangerous? Yes, but they didn't do anything then. All of a sudden they want to do it. I think in some regards to take attention away from the CPS other problems and it'll keep us from focusing on Whittier.
And there's a lot of symbolism to this field house. This is where parents staged a sit-in for 43 days in order to keep it in the community. So for the public school system to do this late at night on a weekend, does it seem heavy-handed?
I think the hardest part is, the middle of the night issue is horrible, but the most difficult thing to swallow is that what they're putting there are fields and playgrounds as opposed to the library and the community center that was there. I think people might have been angry or even as disappointed either way, but if you had said, we're going to put a new learning center here, we're going to bring in computers, we're going to put high-tech, make equipment available to the community here, then it might have been softened the blow a little bit.
And there was a library in there before, too, and there were classes conducted in there. Why replace them with a basketball court?
I think that's really what's at the heart of the issue, what you're replacing it with. I mean, people need resources. They're lacking across the city, and that's the hardest part to swallow.
Well, I do believe the community is also angry that they don't believe that they're having their voice heard and what's going to go there, how it's going to be used. There's no input.
Right.
This is a politically active part of the community. They know what's going on. They know their members. They know people that live there. So for the mayor to just come down and pull a Meigs Field and just destroy that, I do believe it really smacks of politics and not of good policy.
There was also concern that the space would be used as a field for a nearby private school. So people who use the public school were very upset about that. Does that play into the politics of all of this?
Well, I think so. I think we saw that Rahm Emanuel was a friend of the charter schools, and if there's a charter school versus public school or charter school, private school against public use, obviously the community is going to be upset and they're going to question, what's going on. Rahm had a lot of work to do in that community, and this has not helped build up any trust in that community.
What's bothersome to me is it's a question of priorities. There are so many things that really need to be done. And why not spend the money on fixing that building up? It costs $1 million to fix it up, and they're spending $1 million a day on keeping the flowers and the trees and the midstripes and the outer drive. It just makes no sense.
And Mitzi, what about in terms of public relations? Here, the Chicago Public Schools has just closed nearly 50 schools. We're talking earlier in the program about the safe passage, and now they tear down this sort of beloved community center late at night. Is this just another black eye for the Chicago Public School District?
It does seem like it's back to back to back to back. But again, school hasn't started yet. It'll all play itself out when it starts. It's easy to kind of gesticulate before anything is done. We'll have to see. Again, for me, the biggest disappointment with the raising of the community center was that another one wasn't going up. So that's something tangible that we can talk about. We all have to remain optimistic and do our parts with the safe passages. We won't know until it happens. So again, incidents back to back, but it hasn't all come to fruition yet. So kind of sit back and wait. You don't want to jump to judgment.
Angel, last word very quickly.
Well, again, I think that Rahm is doing a very poor job in many Latino communities. This could have been a great opportunity for him to say, come to the table, let's work together, put something there. Instead, in the middle of the night, he comes down and tears down the iconic center.
All right, Angel Garcia, Mitzi Miller, Walter Jacobson, thanks for being here. Until next week, good night.